trophies. The aspect of video games which for some of us is the absolute hook that gets us coming back for more. What's good, guys? It's your boy Brandon, or Bam. Welcome to the Bamster202 channel, and today, you guys, we are going to be going through my trophy list before we embark on this next chapter of my content creation. We are going to be platinuming video games, different games across the PlayStation, from old school nostalgia games to games that I just wanted to play and never got around to platinum before. And you know, we're going to add some memes, we're going to do some cool fun editing, and we're going to make it what we can. This is just going to be an off-the-cuff commentary over some gameplay, some different things. I'll do some editing and things like that. But when it comes to the actual videos themselves, they'll be more scripted and other things like that. But for the first video of the channel, I wanted to just be more free-flowing, more free-talking, and just basically cover everything. As you can see from the trophy stats on the screen, we have 35 platinum trophies to go through. I'm going to be ranking them out of 10 with a little bit of gameplay and different things for you guys to see. And I'll talk about the games in general. But my first ever platinum trophy comes all the way back in 2010. God, to think that was 14 years ago that I received this platinum trophy. And it's for Godfather 2 on the PS3, a 4.3% platinum rate. From what I can remember from this game, because again, I haven't played this game in well over a decade. I loved this game. It was really, it was new. It was different. This is first when the trophies really started to become a part of what I did for gaming. It was one of those things where they were popping regularly while I was playing through the game, and it was the first game I think I ever looked at the trophy list and went, can I do all of it? And since then, I've been hooked. Like 35 is good. I'd say that's fine, but you know, the object of this channel is obviously to create content for you guys to enjoy, but it's also for me to increase that cap, increase that number, so we can look back on this video in however many years time, and the number be doubled, tripled, etc., etc. The eventual goal is to hit 100. That's my first goal, is to hit 100. So we're 65 away. Let's get that shit. But the first one, Godfather 2. I'm gonna give this platinum a solid 7 out of 10 from what I remember. I think I actually platinumed it twice. I think I remember playing through it again on a second profile and playing through the game again and wanted to get the platinum again. From what I can remember, I missed one platinum from my original playthrough, which was Executions in Style, which is complete all the execution styles. From what I can remember, if you did an execution on a police officer, it didn't actually count towards doing them. You needed to do them on opposing gang members, and once you complete the game, there's no opposing gang members left in the game. And I think I missed like 3 or 4, so I had to redo the entire game again just to get all the execution styles, which I think I like sped around and did it in like the first half of the game. But solid first game. Yeah, 7 out of 10 for that one. Second platinum that we received was a Ratchet & Clank: A Crack in Time. Now, when I started to get hooked with trophies, there was guides online of what different games to play. So if you're looking at classics like I Am Mayo and things like that, that are literally just 5-minute platinums. One that popped up regularly for people that was a really achievable platinum, but one that you could really enjoy. A Crack in Time constantly came up. Now, with the old PS2 games, I wasn't a Ratchet & Clank player. I didn't pick up the OG games. The first time I played the original trilogy actually was the remastered on the PS3. And even then, Crack in Time is still my favourite Ratchet & Clank game. There's more of these on this list, don't worry. To the point where I think I've platinumed this game 3 times. I think I did it for, obviously, my profile, which you're seeing here. I believe I did it on my dad's profile as well, just for him. I was at home, I was playing through the game. And then I think I did it for a YouTube series a very long time ago. As you can see, I received this platinum in 2011. So I love this game. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for its platinum rating, simply because it is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I'd still happily play through that game again today if it was available to me. Platinum number 3, and again, back end of 2011, we've got Terminator Salvation. I'm going to straight up give this thing a 5 out of 10 for a platinum. The whole idea of this game is just entirely gold trophies, and you basically get a trophy for, you basically complete the game, and you get the platinum. If you complete the game on, you need to complete the game on hard, basically, to get the platinum. There is a workaround for this. You can just play the game on easy until like the last level, and then swap the difficulty on the last level to hard, and then beat the last level on hard just to do it. I played through the entire game on hard just to give myself a little bit more of a challenge for it. So I was like, if I would have to beat the game, I might as well do it the hard way. And as you can see from the timings, I got the first trophy at 10 to 3 in the afternoon and then finished it at 5 to 8 in the evening. I think I smashed it out in one sitting. 5 out of 10, bang in the middle. Not going to say too much about this game. I can't really remember much about it. I think I enjoyed the combat, actually, from what I can remember. I think I enjoyed the combat. But yeah, 12 trophies in total. Didn't really add much to the list, but a solid 5 out of 10 for that one. Keeping on track with the Ratchet & Clank games, we've got Ratchet & Clank All for One. This was I believe when this game first came out, I got it straight away. I think I was still really on the hype of A Crack in Time, and then a new Ratchet & Clank game came out, and I jumped on it quite quickly. Got the Platinum. 1.4 is not actually terrible. As you can see from the dates, I believe I got it for Christmas. By the looks of things, I got the first trophy on Christmas Day in 2011, and then I got the Platinum on the 21st of January. It took me just under a month to get the Platinum. From what I can remember from this game is you had 4 different characters and there was different mechanics, and there was always 4 of you running around and you controlled one of them at a time. And I remember enjoying it a lot because actually you got to play as Nefarious, who arguably was one of my favourite antagonists back in the day because of A Crack in Time. I love Dr. Nefarious. It was just and I really don't remember much about the game. Again, over a decade ago since I got the Platinum and probably played it. But 45 trophies, good Platinum. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. On to the next Platinum, and 1%. I think this is my rarest Platinum. It's the original Dead Island Platinum on the PS3. Anyone that knows me personally, I love this series. The Dead Island series always hits home with me. I loved these video games when they were first released. They were buggy, they were glitchy, but they were brilliant in my opinion. And to the point where I had to get the Platinum. I had to go through it. It's a hard Platinum, like there's a reason it's a 1%. You've got to grind a lot and you've got to know the game well. You've got to complete the first act of all 4 characters. Some of the multiplayer trophies are the worst. I think as a community we agree on that. So play with 10 different co-op partners for at least 15 minutes each. I think you literally had to try and find people online. You could join other people's game, basically play with them for 20 minutes, do a couple quests and then leave. Player co-op with all 4 characters in one was quite difficult. I think I got lucky with that one and I literally just searched for a game and there were 3 people playing with 3 of the different characters, and then the 4th one they were missing was the character that I was using at the time. So I literally just jumped in, probably got all of us that trophy, and then I left again. So it's just one of those things. But I love these games. So again, another 9 out of 10 for the Dead Island series. Absolutely top class, and would happily platinum it again. And I was clearly on a platinum grind, as you can see from my trophies at the moment, 3 in a row. The next one was Mini Ninjas, an underrated game in my opinion. It did take me 2 years to platinum because I don't think I wanted to platinum it originally, and then came back to it and was like, yes, I'm going to do this. The art style for this game, the combat, the music, there was so much I really loved about this game, and actually like looking through the trophy list is sort of like giving me a little bit of like nostalgia of sort of like what you had to do for the game. The boss battles were really inventive and really cool. Freeing the animals, some fun little trophies and some wonderful trophy images as well actually. Some of these trophies were great and completed level without being seen. I remember that one being really annoying. The completionist, finding these Jesus statues was the really annoying one. I remember following a guide for that because they were these tiny little statues that were hidden in mostly like tall grasses and actually trying to like figure out where they were. But a really, really fun game, great boss battles, wonderful art, wonderful music. I'm going to give Mini Ninjas an 8 out of 10. Back to Platinums, which we got the novelty of because it was an easy Platinum. We got the Megamind Platinum. Again, I know and remember nothing about this game. Other than all you have to do is beat the story, I believe. Once you beat the story, you just get the Platinum. As you can see from the dates and the times, I got the first trophy at 10:15 in the morning and then got the Platinum at 2:10 in the afternoon. Cannot remember it for the life of me. Cannot remember anything about this game. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 simply because I can't remember anything about it. It gets some marks because it's 26 trophies. We went a little while before getting another trophy, another platinum trophy, should I say. Sly 1 being the next one that we got, getting the Sly Cooper trilogy. I didn't, again, this is another series like the Ratchet & Clank that I didn't play the original games of back when they were on the PS2. I got the remastered for the PS3, I say remastered, high definition versions on the PS3. I still think Sly 1's probably my favourite. I think that has the most gross for me from what I can remember of the games. I remember it being quite simple and quite simplistic, and just really solid gameplay. I know that the fans of this series have been crying out for a new Sly game for years, but a really solid game. Again, took me a little while. I believe all the Sly games were ones that I started for the Platinum journey and then came back to at the end. Simply because there are some games that just don't hook me as well as others, but then I come back to them and complete them later on, maybe with a guide or something like that. But I'm going to give Sly 1 a 7 out of 10. Sticking to the Dead Island series, we're here with Dead Island Riptide. I have, in fact, platinumed every Dead Island game that there is, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. The Whole World Went Away, Dead Island Riptide, the second installment in the Dead Island series. An interesting Dead Island game, I will say the least. Compared to the first one, it's just nostalgic, and I will always choose the first one over Riptide. And then the new one is outstanding. We'll get to that in a bit. But I did have to get the Platinum Trophy for this game. I remember pre-ordering it. I remember the day it came out, and I think I got it a day early. I think this was back when Amazon did certain things, like you could get a game a day before release if you ordered it through them or through Game or whatever. And I actually remember that I pre-ordered it to become a day early, and I knew that it had arrived because I got the message to say that it had arrived. I got home and I'd forgotten my keys, so I actually couldn't get in the house because no one was home, everyone was at work, and I couldn't get into my house. And I remember looking through my letterbox and seeing it on the floor and just being like, I need to play this game. And I think I did just like this game. I actually used to make YouTube videos on this game. I used to do legendary weapon gives away because you could duplicate legendaries really easy. I think I had all of them. There were like glitched guns in the game where they had like unlimited. You could have like a fully automatic pistol, a fully automatic shotgun. Like there were so many broken things about this game, but also those sorts of things just made it really fun. I do prefer the first game. I gave the first game an 8 out of 10, so I'm going to give this one a 7. I'm going to give this one a 7.5 because I actually prefer this one over Sly, I would say. But there were certain things about this game that were actually really quite annoying. Finding all of the dead zones and killing all the dead zones. There was no way to track which ones that you'd done, so having to go back through all of them and basically I did them all again and things like that. Yeah, that was a pain in the arse of a trophy, but still great. We'll say 7.5. I've completely forgotten which number we're on, but we're on Slide 2 now. Slide 2 was the next Platinum Trophy I got. I think I probably would have done this quite soon after I got Slide 1. I probably would have been one of those people that would have did the first one. Right, let's jump on the second one. Very similar to the first one. I remember the gameplay being very similar. I think they added a few more mechanics with like some of the loot system that they had. And you did a few more things with like Bentley and things like that. Might have been Sly 3. Like I said, I got this Platinum Trophy over a decade ago. Trying to recall what happens in these games is probably not my best bet, and we'll be able to talk in more depth about certain trophies the later in that we get, simply because of them being more new. I gave the first Sly a 7 out of 10. I remember more about the first game. I'll give this one a 6 out of 10. Simply 36 trophies. I'm sure it was a great game, but again, it's not sticking with me as promptly as I probably want it to, so we'll give it a 6 out of 10. We're on to the PS4 section of the trophies now, and we've got our first Tales game. Tales games are notoriously known in the Platinum Trophy community simply because all you have to do is beat the game. Tales from a Borderlands was the first Tales game I ever did. I love the Borderlands series, again more on that in a bit, and I really enjoyed Tales. I think it's arguably my favourite Tales game that I've done. I think I've actually only done 2 out of the ones that I did, but it's a very good story. If you understand the lore of the Borderlands and the characters, it's quite an enjoyable experience. As you can see, I did it over the course of a month. Again, Telltale games, even as much as you love them, they can get quite repetitive and quite boring. And by the end of it, it is just sort of like, I've just got to complete this game. I've just got to beat this game, and the platinum trophy is going to be mine, and it's just going to be one of those. But yeah, 23.8 completion. It's a Tales game. That's exactly what happens. I'm going to give Tales from Borderlands, because it was my favourite Tales game, I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Again, can't remember which number this is, but we've got Tekken 7 as the next platinum trophy. I first played this game at EGX 2016. I can't remember which EGX it was. It's the first EGX I went to. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a video game convention here in the UK. I love Tekken. Tekken is my fighting game of choice. I had the original Tekken 3. I still have my copy of Tekken 3 on the PS1. I loved the original game, and Tekken 7 was no different. I loved the mechanics. I still love this series. I haven't bought the new Tekken yet. That is definitely a game that's going to be on my list of, once I do buy it, we'll do a video on it, because again, really like Tekken. My friends refuse to play me at it because I just basically use harangue and just spam all the moves that I know and all the combos that I know, and not many people could beat me, and it was really funny. But I really enjoyed this game. I think even after, it's one of those games where even after the platinum, I played it multiple times afterwards, which for a lot of games, and I think some people would back me up here, in the sense of once you get the platinum, the replayability is just is gone. You've done everything, because normally to get the platinum you need to do everything in the game, where with a fighting game like Tekken, it was very much one of those things where even though I got the platinum, I could still pick it up and play some matches and do some fights and so on and so forth. So that was always good. So it was one of those games that I still played after the platinum. It's a brilliant game. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. Another Telltale Games for this platinum trophy. We did the Telltale Games of Game of Thrones. Fun fact, I've never actually seen the TV show Game of Thrones. I know, considering the amount of things that I have watched on instead of Game of Thrones, you probably question what I like to watch as TV series. But again, another Telltale Games. From what I remember of this game is every time I got remotely attached to a character, they died, which is apparently what Game of Thrones basically is. Every time you get slightly attached to a character, it's very likely that they're just going to die, which happens a lot in this game. Again, it's another one of those where you just play through the game and you'll get the platinum. From what I remember, this took me forever to play through. Like, it really, I slugged through it. Like, I started on the 7th of the 7th, 2017. I didn't finish it until the 22nd of the 8th. Like, I remember so many times looking at it going, oh, I should just play, one chapter. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I just wasn't enjoying it at all. I didn't understand. Maybe not watching the TV show didn't help because I didn't really understand the lore behind it. Everyone just kept dying. And I was like, I wasn't invested in this game at all. And for that reason, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 10. It wasn't worth the time, in my opinion. A Tales game, platinum's a platinum. But, 49 trophies? God. It was a lot. It was a lot. Canis Canem Edit, or Bully to a lot of people. Rockstar's Bully. My favourite Rockstar game. This game was a big part of my childhood on the PS2. I love this game. I know so much about this game. I know pretty much where everything is. And then when I was able to buy it on the PS4, I think I bought it on the PS3 when it didn't have trophies. And then they released it on the PS4 as well, and the PS4 version had trophies, and I was like, well, I've got to buy it again. So I think I actually own this game on every console possible that it's on. I don't think it's on PS5. Well, there's a PS5 version, but there's every version of this game that it's on in PlayStation-wise. I own it. I love this game. There's so many aspects of it. I'm crying for a Bully 2. I think Rockstar, you need to do it. There's been leaks and rumours for over a decade easily that there's going to be a second Bully game, and they just need to do it. They need to jump on it, even if it doesn't follow Jimmy. Like, if it's just a completely new title, with a new game, a new backstory, a new school, like whatever. Like, just do it. Just make the second one. Just do it. Just do it. Canis Canem Edit gets a 9 out of 10 because it's just one of my favourite games of all time. Simple as. South Park and the Fractured Butthole. I actually have both platinums for the South Park. Again, we'll get into the Stick of Truth in a minute. But the first one I actually got the Fractured Butthole first. And the fact that I got the Fractured Butthole first made me go back and do the Stick of Truth. I love South Park. I think it's a quality TV show. That's my kind of humour. These games are hilarious. It's very much down to you need to like these types of games and you need to like that type of humour if you're going to enjoy this game. Some people don't like that type of humour, which means, sure, you're probably not going to enjoy this game as much as others. I liked the battle style. I preferred it to the Stick of Truth. It was different. It was new. The collectibles were easy to find, but also they were good collectibles. Like, they're not a pain in the ass kind of collectibles. Some of the trophies are fun. Just different things that you can do, and it's just one of those. It was one of those trophy lists that just over the course of the game just kept flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing. And as you can see, I got the first trophy. I basically got them all within, I think, a week, 2 weeks. I managed to get the trophy in about 2 weeks, which again, pretty good time frame for me, considering I do get bored of games quite quickly, which is going to have to change if this channel is going to run well. I'm going to have to persevere and play through games until we're done, if we're going to make all of this work. But a great game. I'm going to give Fractured Butthole an 8 out of 10. And as previously mentioned, we've got the Stick of Truth as well. Doing the Fractured Butthole made me go back and do the Stick of Truth. I don't have the Stick of Truth on PS3. I did originally buy the Stick of Truth on PS3 and then managed to get the PS4 version. I do have the platinum for the PS4 version. I don't think there's any point in me going back and doing the PS3 version. Literally redundant. I've got the platinum. Don't need to do it again. Yeah, it's going to be ironic in a few trophies time. But again, it's basically just saying everything I did about the Fractured Butthole. I love South Park. I think the humor's brilliant. I love the story behind the kids and you being the new kid. This game is brilliant, and some really weird things, using Mr. Slave, summon Mr. Slave while you're inside Mr. Slave and he sucks someone up his arsehole. Like, it's memorable. I remember so much about this game and these games just because they were really funny. You sit and watch your parents. Your parents have sex in the game, and you actually get a trophy bought standing there and watching them have sex for 60 seconds. Like what kind of trophy is that? But it's a trophy, and it's South Park to a T. Like, it's brilliant. Fractured Butthole got 8 out of 10. Stick of Truth also gets 8 out of 10. Solid trophy list. This one is more of a pain in the ass to get because the collectibles are harder, and you can there's a lot of missable trophies in this one. So I think I did follow a guide to make sure that I got all of this right, but still an enjoyable experience nonetheless. So yeah, I'm going to stick with an 8 out of 10. Rocket League. Now, Rocket League's an interesting one. I simply got the Platinum Trophy for this because it was easy. 2.6. I am rubbish at this game. Like, awful at this game. Like, I have not touched this game since I got the Platinum. If I remember correctly, the last trophy that I needed to get was the driver total of 50 kilometers. It was the last trophy that I got. If I remember correctly, I left this overnight with an elastic band around my controller and just let it do its thing, and I woke up and I'd had the platinum at, well, it says 25 to 9. I probably wasn't in bed at that point, but I probably was just leaving it and doing something else, maybe playing something on my phone or something, because I didn't want to drive 50 km playing the actual game, because like I said, I wasn't good at the game. I understood the mechanics well enough to actually play it, but it wasn't my sort of game. I'm going to give Rocket League a 6 out of 10. The Order 1886. Now this is an interesting one because this was one of the release titles for the PS4, if I believe. Yeah, PS4. One of the release titles PS4. Graphically, this game is gorgeous. To this day, still holds up. Graphically gorgeous. But 50% of the game is cutscenes that aren't skippable, and it just made the game really annoying because I actually really liked the combat, and I really liked the music, and I liked the guns, and I liked the story, and I liked everything about this game, other than the fact that 95% of the time you're sat in a cutscene. And if they were skippable, this game is easily a solid 8 or 9 out of 10 for me. But because of that, what holds deep within me for when I think about this game, all I can picture is cutscenes. I have to give it a 7. I did enjoy the game. Like I said, I enjoyed the combat, I enjoyed the music, graphically it's gorgeous, but the cutscenes just, but when you're trying to go for that platinum near the end, it was unbearable. So I'm going to give it a solid 7. Burly Men at Sea, 4 out of 10, simply because, and that's nothing against this game, I'm not an indie game player, I will say that. I do find getting attached to indie games really difficult. That's just me, that's just my style of play. I'm not a massive indie game person. I saw that this game was a very quick and easy platinum, in the sense of that I literally followed a guide one evening at university. As you can see, I got the first trophy at 9:10 in the evening and got the platinum at 11:30. I think I literally watched a tutorial on how to do everything in order to get the platinum on a laptop while doing it myself. I don't know why I was doing this for platinum trophies. We'll talk about this a little bit more in a deeper platinum. But I don't know why I was doing this. It was just, again, I wanted another platinum trophy on my list. I don't think I had one in a while, and I took a cop out. Yeah, I'll give it a 5 actually. We'll give it a 5 out of 10, simply because it's not a bad game. I can't really remember. I remember the art style being very cute. That's what I can remember about this game. I enjoyed the art style, but the way that I played it was very backwards. Don't do what I did. Play it properly. We're back again with Dead Island. I got it again, this time on the PS4, the definitive edition. This is 0.6. Actually, I think this is my rarest one. 0.6, because I did it again. I've already spoken about this game. I love it. It was brilliant. I had to do it again. I did do it again. 9 out of 10. I mean, if I gave the first one a 9 out of 10, the exact same game is 9 out of 10. I've got the same platinum twice, basically. Like it's a cop-out, but it's 9 out of 10. Spyro the Dragon, again, another PS2 series that I didn't play, or PS1 technically. I think the original Spyro was on the PS1. I think all 3 of them were on the PS1. Tell a lie? Am I lying? I'm not. I don't think I am. A classic game series, and they released the Reignited trilogy, and I did pick it up. And I enjoyed these games. The first Spyro is a great game. Again, this was something that I was working on while at university instead of actually studying. And enjoyed Spyro. Enjoyed the first Spyro. I've done the second one as well, I believe. We'll get into that in a little bit, of course, when we review it. I'm going to give the first Spyro a 7 out of 10. They're great games. They're enjoyable. Very simplistic. Not really much else to say about them. None of the trophies are remotely difficult at all. Again, if you're struggling with any, you literally can. There's no missables. You can replay levels. You can do so much just to play through the game and get the platinum. It's not a hard platinum at all. So yeah, we'll give it a 7 out of 10. Crash Bandicoot, my second rarest platinum trophy. Apparently Crash 4 is harder. I haven't attempted any of the other Crash Platinums, the platformer ones that is, since I got this one, because of how much this game took out of me mentally. I grinded to get this platinum. Like, I became really good at this game just to get this platinum. Like, I was really learning these maps, because to do the time trials, you need to know what you're doing. You need to be able to play the game well, and I was streaming it at some point on my old channel. Like, I was doing everything possible. People were loving watching me rage at those time trials. Like, it was only really the time trials that was the difficult part about this. Like, the rest of the game is pretty much box standard, earning the gems and everything, but it's the relics. It's the time relics that you need to get, because to get a time relic, you can't die, so you need to complete a level without dying. And some of the levels are just horrible. But it's a great game. It's a classic game. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 simply because of how hard I worked for it. I'd probably say this was the platinum that I worked the hardest to get, from what I can recall. That may change the more I talk about it later on. But from what I remember, I grinded to get this, and it's a deserved platinum. I deserved to get that platinum. So 9 out of 10. Another 1%, Borderlands 2. Again, I didn't get it on the PS3. I did manage to get it on PS4. We've spoken about Borderlands before in the Tales series. This is still my favourite Borderlands game. I think this is a lot of people's favourite Borderlands game. Handsome Jack is still my favourite antagonist in video game history. I love Handsome Jack. Borderlands 2 is a classic. It's so good. I had to get the platinum for it. I grinded to get it and made my way through the game. None of the trophies are massively difficult if you know what you're doing. Finding all the name locations can be a bit annoying, but again, if you just work your way through the map, make sure that none of it's blacked out, then you'll be fine. You do have to play through the game with all the characters, I believe. I think there's a trophy related to all the characters. So Phase Lock is Maya, Gunzerk is Salvador. I believe there's one for Zero as well. And then, is there one for Axton? I can't remember. I believe the last one I got was actually beating Terramorphous, which is one of the raid bosses in the game. Not necessarily the hardest raid boss. If you have the right build, like you could just easily run Money Shot on Salvador and just absolutely bop it with a B shield and just bop. But an amazing game. I'd happily platinum Borderlands 2 again because it's such a great game. I'm going to give Borderlands 2 a 9 out of 10 simply because, again, it's one of my favourite games of all time and it's an absolute classic. Now, this might be the one that I talk about either the most or the least, or I don't know. I had to get this platinum. Skyrim is my 10 out of 10. Okay, it's arguably my favourite game of all time. For any of you that know me, I have Skyrim tattoos on my body. I have the logo of Skyrim tattooed on my chest as part of an armour set. I have my own thumb on my left forearm. I have a dragon on the top of my left arm. My sleeve isn't quite completed. I haven't got the money to complete the sleeve yet. But I basically wanted a Skyrim-based sleeve of armour down my left-hand side. I love this game. I will still pick up this game. This game is arguably one of the games that I have the most hours in total for every game ever made. I know so much about this game. I know how to play it. I've done countless amounts of different builds to make them work and to make them good. You can play this game in such a massive variety of ways. The trophy list isn't awful, it's just a grind. But it's a grind in a game that you will sit down for, oh, I'll play Skyrim for an hour. Next thing you know, it's 6 hours later, you've missed dinner and you've got 3 missed calls on your phone. Because you've just been sat playing Skyrim and you've wanted to do nothing else but play this game. It's just a grind. You just level 50 can be a grind if you don't know any of the exploits to level up things quickly. Zob's 20 Dragon Souls could be quite difficult if you don't know where the dragons are located or if you don't get enough random encounters. Again, learning 20 shouts, that's, again, you need the Dragon Souls to be able to learn the shouts, but you also need to know where the thumbs are kept. Finding all the 15 Dejig artifacts, you need to do the quest lines for those, which can be quite difficult if you don't know where they are. Bounty and 1,000 holds, I recommend doing that one last, just because it will muck up your save. Turn auto-save off, go to each hold, kill a bunch of people, and then try and run away. Best thing that I can do, or recommend. The rest of it's pretty straightforward from what I remember. It's just, again, it's a grind, it's finding things. 50 locks and 50 pockets, there's an exploit to do that one really quickly. 10 side quests, easy. 50 miscellaneous tests, easy. Like, a lot of it sounds difficult, and then a lot of them's just playing through some of the main story missions, like Hero of Skyrim. You either choose the Stormfronts or the Stormcloaks or the Legion. I can't talk. Considering I know much about this game, I shouldn't be getting that wrong. Completing the Dark Brotherhood quest. Returning the Dark Brotherhood to its former glory. That's a pain in the arse because you need to know how to do that properly for you to get that trophy. Again, there'll be a guide to show you how to do it. But it is my 10 out of 10. It's my only 10 out of 10. It's my favorite game. Like, it's Skyrim. It's my only 10 out of 10. I love it. Not really much else to say about it. We go from my favourite platinum in Skyrim to my least favourite platinum in Detroit Become Human. And this isn't the game's fault, this is my fault. and it's my fault for the way that I did it. I mentioned earlier when we did Burly Men at Sea that I followed a guide, and obviously I got it in 2 days. I followed a step-by-step guide on how to get this platinum, and I think the walkthrough for it was like 8 hours long to be able to do it, or something silly like that. And I platinumed this game over a weekend, or over the course of however long. And don't do that with this game, because it's a brilliant game, but I completely ruined it because I wasn't invested, and it just became a trophy grind for me instead of actually enjoying the game. I didn't play through it how I wanted to play through it. I was literally just following how someone else was doing it and killing Connor on purpose or pissing off Hank on purpose for a trophy, and I just ruined this game. And whenever I think of this game, it just gives me a headache because of the way that I played it, and I ruined it. And I'd much rather not have this platinum and have played through this game how I wanted to play for it. But because of the way that I did it and the headache that this game gives me for when I think about it, it gets a 2 out of 10. Sorry if this is one of your favourite games of all time. It's not the game, it's me. I ruined this game for myself, and I think I could probably go back and play it, and I couldn't. Just the thought of playing it again makes me want to slam my head against the wall, genuinely. And that's my fault. But yeah, Detroit Become Human gets a 2 out of 10. But because horrible. Okay, let's talk. Right, I've got rid of Detroit Become Human out of my head. Let's talk about a great game. Let's talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. So they did so well with this game. Like, I had the original Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, and it was great, and the web sling and everything else. And when this game was officially released, they were like, please get this right. They got everything right about this game. It was so good, and I loved it. I loved every second about this game. It's a 9 out of 10. There's a reason it's an 8.4 platinum trophy, is because the trophy list is fairly simple, but you've still got to get all the collectibles, you've still got to do everything in the game. But the game is so good that's how many people get the platinum, because it's one of those games that's so good that people want to get the platinum. People do everything in the game because it's that good of a game. The fighting's really good. The web slinging. Oh, the web swinging is just top tier. Top tier. Like, you can hear it in my voice. I love this game. I haven't played the second one. I need to play the second one. I haven't played the second one. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's great. It's a 9 out of 10. It's such a good game. If you haven't played Spider-Man, please go and play Spider-Man. It's so good. Aha, right. Nitro fueled. A 0.5. Is this my rarest one? Is this my rarest one? If it is, cool. This could also be a 10, you know. If you know me personally, Crash Team Racing on the PS1 was my shit. Don't race me in Sewer Speedway is what I'm going to say. You won't win. It's my one track that, like, I'm good at all the tracks. I'm good at the game. Obviously, I got the platinum trophy. I needed to beat some of the hardest time trials in the game to be able to get the platinum. But Sewer Speedway was my track, and it's muscle memory. To the point where I got home drunk from a night out at university once and decided to play the original Crash Team Racing, and I managed to beat Oxide's time trial while absolutely hammered just based on muscle memory from Sewer Speedway. It was muscle. I remember turning to my friend who was like, "Did you really do that?" And I remember just going, "I can see 2 screens right now," because I was that hammered, and I still managed to beat it. Simply on muscle memory. I was barely looking at the screen. Nitro Fuel is great. When this was released, I was the happiest person on earth, because it's so good and I still love it, and it's the best kart racer ever made. Mario Kart users, suck my dick. Like, I don't care. CTR is the best kart racer ever made, hands down. The trophy list is a bastard, but I love this game more than most games, so I had to do it. I had to beat all of Oxide's time and trial modes. I had to do all the silly gem missions that you have to do. I can't remember what they're called. Gem collector, CTR tokens, get all of that. Booyah Grand Win Cup race. No, that's fine. Crystal adventure, like, yeah, do all the crystal things. Like, some of them are hard. But defeat Oxide in Adventure Mode, beating this game on hard as well is actually hard. Like, actually hard. Like, good, challenging levels of hard as well, which I really like. I'm trying to find the... complete Adventure Mode on hard. It's a 1% trophy. It's only a silver. It's difficult. Like, I remember being like, whoa, okay, this is a challenge. I'm enjoying this. Like, this is hard. Like, but I'm enjoying it because I was racing against what felt like actual people. It was great. I'm gonna give it a 10. I am gonna give it a 10. I said Skyrim Room only 10. I've changed my mind. This is also a 10. Again, simply because I deserved it. When the game first came out and I was playing against my friends that had no idea that I was so good at the original. Genuinely thought I was cheating. But I was winning races by that much. They genuinely thought I was cheating. It was hilarious. I loved it. Great platinum. Goat Simulator. I'm pretty much plucking at straws when it comes to platinums at this point. I saw that it was a quick platinum. As you can see, I started at 4 in the afternoon and I got the platinum at 8:15 in the evening the exact same day. This looks like it was mid-COVID. So I probably followed a guide for this. It's a weird, stupid game. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 because it is very quirky. It is quite funny. Not too much to say about Goat Simulator. I don't really remember much about it other than you just run around as a goat destroying everything. Like I said, I got the platinum in 4 hours. So not really much to reminisce about this game. We'll give it a 6 out of 10. Time for the PS5 era. We're nearly done, guys. We're nearly done. I promise we're nearly done. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, I had to get this platinum. It was the first game I bought. My girlfriend got me the PS5 for my birthday. As you can see, 26th the 2nd, 2023. 26th the 2nd, it's my birthday. She got this for my birthday last year. It was the first game I went straight to the store and I bought Rift Apart. It was the game that I'd wanted to play on the PS5 the most from when I've seen it, and I love it. It's a 9 out of 10 game. It's such a fun game. Let's say I got the platinum on the 2nd of March when my birthday was on the 26th. Like, it's all I played for nearly a week, and got the platinum. It's 11% platinum again because it's a great game to enjoy and play, and it's an achievable trophy list. Collectibles aren't missable. You can go back and get them. It's a Ratchet & Clank game. It's great fun. The weapons are brilliant. The gameplay's fun. It's smooth. There's so much that you could say about this game. It's quality. If you haven't played Rift Apart, you need to play Rift Apart. I believe you can get it on the PlayStation. I think it's part of the PlayStation Essentials pack. So if you've got Essentials, download it and play it. It's great. Like, you have to play it. It's such a good game. 9 out of 10. We're back to Dead Island 2. Again, I had to get the platinum. I can't not have the platinum for the original twice, and then obviously Riptide without getting the platinum of this. Again, platinumed it over the course of a week. Really loved the game. Haven't played the DLCs. Something happened at the end of the game, which really put me off. Basically, the best weapon in the game for the character that I was using, which is KT, was like the exploding sledgehammer from Sambi, and it's like the best weapon for her because of just like she's a blunt force expert. And basically I got given it when my inventory was full or some glitch happened, and I had it in my hands, and then when it exited my hands it was gone forever, and I lost the best weapon for my character in the game, and the only way to get it back would have been to play the whole game again. So left quite a sour taste in my mouth, but I'm still going to give it 8 out of 10 because I really enjoyed the game. It was beautiful, the music was great. I loved the fact that it was in LA, and this game was a decade late when it was originally announced that it was coming out, and then when it was actually taken over by a new company and actually done properly. It's a great game. Please play Dead Island 2 if you haven't. It's worth it. It really is. We're back to Spyro. I went back and I got the second Spyro platinum. Again, I was probably going for a stage where I wanted another platinum. I think I started, as you can see, I started Spyro 2 in 2019. Didn't get the platinum until 2023. It was one of those games that I started and then came back to. I think there was one trophy that was just really giving me a lot of jip, to the point where I couldn't do it, and I got frustrated, and I just put the game down, and I never picked it up again. So when I finally picked the game up again, I went about doing it, and I actually got it, and I got the platinum. Again, solid game with the Spyro games. There's more to this one. There's more characters, a bit more story. The trophy list is there's a bit more to it, which is quite cool. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because, again, not the most memorable, but an enjoyable experience nonetheless. 3 out of 10. Can we move on, please? I'm giving this platinum more than Detroit Become Human because this genuinely was only headache for the 45 minutes that it took me to get this. But the fact that I actually got this platinum is ridiculous. And the funny story attached to this platinum is that once I got it, I then FaceTimed my dad, told him about it, and then while on FaceTime to him, walked him through the entire journey and got the platinum for him as well on a FaceTime. So I've actually technically got this platinum trophy twice in one day because I also told my dad exactly what to do to get it as well. Insert meme of Pepper hanging up the phone here. Alright then guys, only a few left to do. We are nearly done with this. Dodgeball Academia, a surprise game. To be fair, I found this one on the PlayStation Essentials, looked at the trophy list, you know, your standard stuff. Saw it wasn't too difficult. You needed to put a bit of time into it, but you basically needed to play through the game, and I was wondering if it was going to be a game I would actually enjoy. And it is a very enjoyable game, and I actually don't think it's on the PlayStation Essentials anymore. Which is a shame because it's a really enjoyable game. Obviously, dodgeball. You either played it at school or just with your friends or whatever. It's pretty standard stuff. The characters are wacky. The characters are fun. You get to choose some different ones. Obviously, you play as your own character. Play through the story, which is good. There's good progression. You don't really get stuck at any point. The trophy list is very straightforward and pops quite freely. Yeah, I really enjoyed Dodgeball Academia. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Next up, we've got Unpacking, another one where it was very much on the list. I saw a video about just basically it was, oh, it's a very quick platinum. I didn't activate the setting that makes it an even quicker platinum until near the very end, which is basically that you can just place things anywhere. I was playing it where I had to place it in the correct place, which adds an additional bit of time. For some reason, it took me a while to slug this one out. Every time I picked it up, I could play it for about half an hour tops before I was like, I just can't play this game anymore, I'm bored. I finally slugged it out and got the platinum at 17.2%. It's quite a very simple one. Again, not sure if it's still on the PlayStation Essentials. It might still be there. It might have been one that was removed as well. Very quick, very simple. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. And we are on to number 35, the last platinum that we have received, the most recent platinum that I have received, is Cat Quest. I downloaded Cat Quest and Cat Quest 2 because I could play Cat Quest 2 with my partner. She played it for all of 10 minutes before being like, I don't want to play this anymore. And I decided to play through the first one just to see what they were about. Knew that they were very relatively and simple platinums, and they very were. Like, the last thing you do is pretty much get to level 99, which sounds horrible, obviously getting to level 99 in a game. It's not. You progress level-wise quite well throughout the story. Nothing's missable. You can go back and do and fight things, and things respawn all the time. You can go in and out of dungeons to fight things again to gain XP. There's certain hidden items in the game that give you really good abilities and good attack and good defense, HP, blah blah blah, to make the game a lot easier. And you can get those around level 40 odd. So actually, you get those around level 40, and then the rest of the game is just an absolute breeze. Very fun. I enjoyed the story. I think it's quite niche. It's a little indie game. It's quite fun. I enjoyed the little magic that you do. I haven't done Cat Quest 2, so it may be a video for the future. Who knows? But that is platinum number 35. I'm going to give Cat Quest a 6 out of 10. Alright then, you guys, so that is going to be it. That is our 35 platinums. I'm not going to keep you for any longer than this video is already done. I actually edited most of this video while I was recording it, and oh god, I apologise for making it so long, and I'm already making it longer by talking now. If you're around here, hit the subscribe button, click the like button as well. We have got some platinum videos coming your way. I've already achieved the first platinum trophy and recorded it. I just need to edit it and write the script and do all that other good stuff. So there will be more videos coming your way very soon. I'm already working on the second game as well, so content is hopefully going to flow quite swimmingly. Like I said, if you haven't already, click that subscribe. Without further ado, I'm going to get out of here. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you guys next time. See you later.